Hey, lovely people. Um, as I'm here walking tonight, I wanted to walk with you and talk about sales. So I just turned on my camera. I'm not really sure what this video is going to be about yet, but I just made a video about Charlie Kirk and a video about Christianity. And I think these are interesting videos to make because it's allowing me to be more authentic, more honest, and also take this channel in a direction that I want, which is, I want to take it in a business direction. That's very important to me because of the financial side of things, and also because I like business and I like entrepreneurship. But also I want to do it with the values that I have and the things that are important to me, which is not just making money. Okay, so this is why I made these two videos and why I think like this is a good thing and like an interesting thing for me. But I want to focus this video more because I can talk about myself and maybe that's interesting to you, but I want to focus this video more on like giving value to you as a viewer. So let's focus a little bit more on sales and what I can give you in this moment that will help you improve. And that is I've made the two videos about love and kindness and compassion. So these are very important traits. So I'm thinking maybe I can give you some technical advice. And what's coming to my mind is that don't focus too much on technical advice or more accurately, like be cautious about how you go about technical advice. Because the thing is, it is very systemized way, very rational mind type of thing. And so the good thing about that is like if you have a systematic mind for understanding sales, and if you learn sales in a structured way, you learn about psychology, neuroscience, like Jeremy Miner, or you're like really into perfecting your script and working step by step and like really thinking things through. The good thing about that is you can learn a lot about the makings, the physical material makings of reality. Even though we're talking about psychology, we're still learning the foundational techniques of what actually makes people tick if you think about it in a very rational way. And so the good part, if you do that, or if you learn to do that, is that you're becoming someone who gets a lot of insight. And that's a great way, a great benefit of systems and learning how to think in that way and how to operate in that way. But the danger is when you were too technical in your approach, okay? Not called approach and sales, or both, to be honest. But if you're too technical, it's not necessarily about being too rational or be technical, but the problem is if you are just thinking about things on a material level, like you're just trying to identify objectively the matter or like the things that hold reality together, okay? The danger is that you become too materialistic and you forget about the spiritual side of things, the connection between people. And you can argue that systems can be used in a way where you are actually ethical, or where you are, not sure if that's the right word, but if you are actually paying attention to the spiritual side and like the connection and the thing in between people and conversations, that we can have like a good effect on each other, on the souls, you know, on the well-being of the other person. You can systemize these things as well if you go about it in the right way. You know, and I think, even though I do really believe that systems can be used in this way, I also think that if you want to become a great speaker, you also have to learn to be natural and not just think in terms of systems. Because a system is a way of it's a way of manipulating reality, not necessarily in a bad way. It shouldn't be in a bad way, but it's a way of manipulating reality. It's a way of influencing reality. It's a way of creating a certain predetermined result. This is what a system tries to do. And this is the limitation of it, because reality, if that's your only way of going about reality, where you're thinking that I have this certain situation, I want to get a certain outcome, and I have my system to get there, then the positive side is that gives you a lot of like insight, but the negative side is that sometimes you want to be more perceptive to what's actually happening in the moment. And you want to be able to, I know I'm sounding like cool here, but you want to be able to let God flow through you. Okay, and that might inspire you to make a system, but the most important thing is like you listen to what's coming up, okay, and you let that take place. And that's often like a more authentic way of going about things than using a system. It doesn't mean that using a system is bad, not at all, but it's not the only way of approaching things. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, personally, I think if you want to be a great person, if you want to be a great salesperson, you should learn both systems and a natural approach. Because the systems will really give you a lot of insight in psychology, and a natural approach will allow you to really shape your identity, okay? And that's also like what I'm trying to stress here, with the reason why the natural thing is important. It's your identity, okay? So if you're trying to use a system to get a result, that's not as much your identity. And I don't know how to explain this 100%, but just think about it. Like, if you are able to speak to people like in a natural way, where you're free flowing, that's your identity speaking, right? Whereas if you're using a system, the system might be part of your identity, but it's not really the same thing. It's not to the same level, okay? And so I know I'm sounding a bit like anti-systems here. That's really not what this video is about. But I guess I just want to stress the importance of learning to be natural as well, okay? And maybe if you are someone who is like too much in that direction, if you're too much natural, then, well, there's no really too much natural, but I think the danger is on that side of things is that maybe you're not really getting the same depth of insights that you would be able to get if you did take a more systems approach, if you did go about things in more trying to understand how you can get a certain result, then you're getting a deeper understanding of psychology and just how you can leverage your situation to improve and get a better outcome. So I know I'm like stuttering a lot, like not really stuttering, but when I'm speaking and I'm like holding back, like I'm repeating things or like interrupting myself mid-sentence, these are things ideally I would like to improve, but what's more important to me is being authentic. And so whenever I say something, I really want it to feel right, because I think that's very, very important. And that's why I'm going to stutter if necessary. So I'm going to interrupt myself mid-sentence. I'm going to be doing strange things if I feel like doing them, if it's coming from the right place. So it's my opinion also, if you want to be a great speaker, yes, being fluid is important, but I think being effective and being authentic is even more important. So yeah, it's a little bit of a strange video today, but I do feel like I was able to share some good things. I don't know if you have the same opinion, but I hope that you learned something good from this. And, you know, check out my next video and be sure to, you know, if you want to leave a comment, please leave a comment because that's good for the engagement of my videos, and I get to know who you are, and I get to know what are the types of people that are interested in what I say. But most importantly, it's like, you know, I also want to be able to help people that I can help in a good way. Like, if I can make the world a better place, I gotta start somewhere. So let me know if you have anything to share. I hope you have a nice day. Cheers.